Hello everybody, it's Tim here again, heard another movie review, this time for the movie The Messengers, which came out in 2007. I believe it was written by Todd Farmer, who did like Jason X and My Bloody Valentine 3D. His original script, I think, was titled The Scarecrow. It was heavily rewritten into this movie. This movie kind of starts out like it's going to be like an Amityville horror ripoff with this like black and white footage of this family being murdered by an unseen assailant. Kind of well shot though. Kristen Stewart stars this movie. She does okay. Her character's kind of just passable for most of the movie until it gets to like the second act when she becomes more involved. Pretty much is a haunting movie from the dead family at the beginning who's like haunting the place and pretty much only haunting Kristen Stewart. There's like a young boy in the movie who's like her little brother. You find out that she had like a car accident where she was drunk with him and it caused him to stop talking. So in order for the family to move past it, I guess they figured they would move out to a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, which is kind of weird. The guy who plays the dad, he does okay. He's likable into like an okay level for me. He has okay screen presence. The woman who plays the mom, Penelope Ann Miller, I believe, was also the mom in the movie Kindergarten Cop. She does okay as well, but she doesn't have the screen presence that the dad does, and she gets less to do. Like, most of the story is just kind of surface level. You get the idea that she doesn't really trust the daughter because of what happened with the little brother, but they never really like dive deep into it and like have a talk about it really, like from her angle about how she feels and stuff. I mean, they kind of do, but it's just more like surface level. It doesn't really delve in deep enough with the characters. There's one or two like creepy scenes and well shot scenes, like where there's a bunch of crows at the end, like flying over a pretty looking sunset. Kind of well shot. You get some scenes with like the little boy who can see the ghosts, I guess, because of the kid. And kids and animals in movies are normally more susceptible to seeing supernatural things. And he's like seeing the reflection of like the dead child like crawling on the ceiling behind him or whatever. It's kind of creepy, kind of well done. Um, there's a boy in the movie who's introduced like partway through the second act who has like you get that idea as like a thing for Kristen Stewart, but he pretty much disappears and does nothing. He comes back at the climax and just gets like knocked out by the killer. This dude who plays who becomes like a farmhand shows up out of nowhere, and he becomes like a farmhand, and you get like this farming montage with him and the dad, which is kind of weak. It made me feel like I was watching like Milo and Otis or something, like a Disney film. It's like, where's the horror at? The film is directed okay. Nothing really amazing here. Some, like I said, one or two good shots, maybe one good scene of tension building. Kristen Stewart does okay in her character. Nothing to write home about, but she's serviceable for the materials she's given. She's never really been a good actor though, but she's okay here. You get to the climax, the big twist at the end of the movie pretty much kills the movie writing wise. You find out the farmhand dude who gets pecked by crows and suddenly gets his memory back was actually the killer at the beginning of the movie, and he killed his family because you get the idea that they were going to leave him because the place was crashing down, or he was losing all the money that he had invested into the place because his farming wasn't really working or whatever, and they were going to leave, I guess, because why didn't he just leave? Like, I don't know, I guess we get the idea that he must have been psychotically obsessed with the place for some reason. So he killed his family, and now he like wakes back up and suddenly gets his memory back. Somehow he lost his memory, and he had like no relatives or anything, I guess. And neither did the other family, who wondered where the hell these people went after the 5 years, or where he went for the last 5 years he's been missing, and where has he been at? Because he's pretty clean cut. So has he been like checking into hotels and stuff? Wouldn't they have gotten like his identification and known who he was, and the police would have showed up? It doesn't really make any sense. He gets his memory back, and once he's pretty much good and fine as like the handyman through most of the movie. He's just kind of there. He doesn't really add anything, but he's fine. If it wouldn't have been for the twist at the end, really his character wouldn't have amounted to anything. He wouldn't have even been needed. You get the twist at the end though, and his acting becomes more over the top as the killer. He's just okay. So basically, this is a dude that went crazy, lost his memory, and then goes crazy again. That doesn't really make any sense. At least it doesn't make sense logically in the movie. He gets killed at the end by the ghost, who obviously really wanted revenge against him, which is kind of weird because he's been in the movie pretty much the whole film, starting with like partway through the first act. So why have they been like torturing Kristen Stewart? Why have the ghost been torturing her through most of the movie instead of just going directly after this guy, who they obviously want revenge against and to kill? It doesn't really make any sense. They could have killed him at any time out in the middle of the cornfield or anywhere else. It makes no sense. This is a thriller haunted house movie, and it's pretty lame. It sucks. I'd give it a 1.5 out of 4. It's not really worth watching at all. I'm going to go ahead and review the prequel as well. It has Norman Reedus in it. But I watched this film a long time ago, and I remember thinking it was just meh. Watching it now, it sucks. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.